This is the HTC U Ultra, and this is after the hype. So it's your man Jay Will. Let's get this ball rolling. I'm about a solid 48 hours in, heading into day 3 with usage of this phone. And I'm going to start a little different this time. I'm going to start where most people are going to ask, because someone's going to ask, and they've been asking me online, everywhere, how is the battery? Well, this phone houses a 3,000 milliamp hour battery inside. And a lot of people said, oh, they dropped the ball by putting out such a small battery on a big screen with quad HD and all this. So here's what I have to say about that. It's actually not bad. I actually, on Wi-Fi, if I keep it on Wi-Fi the entire time, I can get about 5.5 hours of screen on time. And over LTE, it actually surprised me. It actually gave me just under 5 hours. I was actually kind of surprised. When I say just under, I mean like 4 hours and 50 minutes or something like that, or 4 hours and 55 minutes. And that's what about 5% left. So this actually did better on battery than I thought it would. I actually thought it would really slouch off and just get like 3 hours or so. But I think if you look at today's standards on battery life, a lot of people are not getting 10 hours of screen on time on phones that are quad HD displays with, these, even with bigger batteries. Some phones that are 1080p displays with bigger batteries can't get 5 hours of screen on time. So with that being said, the battery life is good to me. It's right in line with other phones, if not better than some that don't have a quad HD display. But this battery life will definitely treat you right. 5 hours of screen on time for heavy use is actually pretty decent. So if you can get, you'll be able to get 2 days of battery out of this if you're not a heavy user. I shouldn't say you will, but you should be able to. You should be able to grab at least a full solid day and a half of battery life out of this phone if you're not a heavy user. Now with that type of thing, you might get 3 hours of screen on time, or you might get like 2 days of battery out of this thing without charging it, but you'll only get maybe 3 hours, 3.5 hours screen on time. That's actually pretty good battery for a phone like this. So comparing it to other flagship, quote unquote, flagship devices, it's right in line with them. It has a Snapdragon 821, 4 gigs of RAM, quad HD display. So it's actually pretty solid. So battery life, had to knock that out for you. Is the battery life good? To me, that's good because it's in line with every other flagship device. And the battery life is pretty consistently being reported across the board from everybody who has this phone. From what I've read, and I haven't read everything on the internet, but pretty much people are getting 5 hours of screen on time. So, that's pretty decent, pretty good. And over LTE, I'm pretty much can get almost 5 hours as well, and a day's charge. Now, that battery life is coming from 18 hours or 20 hours, I think it was, mixed bag. So you're gonna get through a full work day and into your night. You shouldn't have to charge this through your work day. So if you're a person that leaves the house in the morning, when you get home, you'll probably have 30% left, 40% left. Just depends on how you could have even more than that, depending on how much you use your device at work. If you don't use your device at work, you're gonna come home with 75, 80% probably. You never know. Sorry if I'm giving you some shaky cam. But there's the battery life question that everybody keeps asking me about. Yes, the battery is definitely pretty decent from what I'm getting in my usage. Your usage will vary, so don't base your thoughts on the battery off of mine, because it probably won't be the same. Now, after all of that, how's the phone been? Well, the screen is great. I think they did a fantastic job with the screen. Performance is actually really, really good on here. 5.7-inch quad HD display is really solid. It's just a beautiful display. I put this nice vibrant wallpaper on here to show you. I normally keep a black wallpaper of depending on what, it doesn't matter which phone I have. I tend to like black wallpapers. But this screen is gorgeous. I think HTC did a fantastic job. But this after the hype is not going to be all hype. Here's where I think it's just really annoying. Like this phone is, the hunt for a great case is on. Now, while this is a beautiful piece of hardware, I do not like how slippery this phone is. Pause. Now, if you're going to say, Jay, well, they gave you a case. I know they gave me a case, but that case makes the phone even more slippery. I have dropped this phone so many times and it has slid out of my pocket so many times with the case on and with the case off. So, to me, not feeling that part of it. It's way too slippery. Gorgeous design. It is just beautiful. But I would have liked to have seen some kind of texture, a textured case. So now I have this phone, I'm using it without a case. because the original case that I purchased just, it was nice, but I didn't like the way it looked after having it on for a day. So I ordered something else. So I have something else coming. And that case is solely for grip. It's just for grip. This phone is way too slippery for it to be this big. And so that's another thing that might turn some people off, the size of the phone. Let's be honest here. This is a huge phone. I mean, it is a big phone. Let's see if I can get something out of my bag here. Here is my Blade V8 Pro. This has a 5.5 inch display, and you can see the Blade V8 Pro is a pretty big phone, but this phone is still pretty big. Now let me give you something with a 6-inch display here, so I can find it here. Where are you? Where are you? Where's my 6-inch phone? Here it is. All right, now this phone has a 6-inch display, and it's pretty much the same size as this phone, but it's a bulky phone. I'm not ready to say that this phone feels better than this phone in hand. Now, this definitely has a little bit of grip, but it's a slippery phone too. But this has a 6-inch display, and it's pretty much the same size. And they chose to, put the secondary display up there. Now let's talk about that secondary display, so this doesn't turn into a long, drawn out after the hype. I'm 6.5 minutes in so far. The secondary display. People are asking me, how does it compare to the V20's secondary display? Well, on the V20, I pretty much just kept my name up there, and I didn't really use the apps. That's where this phone differs. I can actually, I'm getting some use out of this. When I have the phone locked, there's different shortcuts up there. And then these shortcuts right here, I actually use them. So if I want to text, I can just text. If I want to call, I can call. And I don't know why I didn't find the V20's screen useful, but it is useful. I just didn't give it a chance on that phone. And that's just probably the truth. I like that I could put my name up there, and that was a satisfying thing to me. So music I play on here, I actually use the music on here a lot because this has 2 speakers, boom sound. So I really enjoy playing. I've been putting this phone in my pocket, cranking the volume up and turning the music on, and it is loud. It is really solid. I've got some main apps up here because I get a lot of packages, and I've got my Chase app, my FedEx, my UPS, and then I've got my calculator and my Amazon and my Bible up there. I have the Bible up there too for quick access as well. And daylight savings times, guys, that's when this video is being recorded. So one thing that I've learned that I don't like about this secondary display, for some reason, I can't get it out of military time. So I have scoured the internet, but I just kind of gave up. Luckily, well, I don't believe in luck, but fortunate for me, I'm ex-military, so I know how to tell military time. So that might annoy some people. It definitely annoys me. Like the weather and everything, it's just not. I don't know what the deal is, man. I'm going to reach out again to HTC and find out what's the status on that. But it's kind of annoying at times. I'm at 8 minutes. I'm checking my time just to be sure. So, guys, overall, this phone has pretty decent battery. It's really good, actually. It's really good for what this package is. A 3,000 milliamp hour battery in here. I definitely would have taken a little bit thicker phone or the same size phone with a bigger battery. You don't have to make the phones thicker now to get bigger batteries. But I definitely would have taken a bigger battery. That's no lie. Give me 3,500 or 3,600. This would have been even better. I probably could have gotten 6.5 hours of screen on time. But battery life seems to scare a lot of people off, and it shouldn't. But I'm going to tell you that after the hype for this phone, I'm definitely really hyped about it. The fingerprint reader's fast. The speakers are great. I know I didn't touch on it, but the cameras are fantastic. I actually have a camera review up already, and I'll do more camera reviews. But head over to smartphoneconversations.com. You can check out the camera review that I did with some picture samples against the S7. And I think you'll be pretty impressed with this camera. This front camera is by far one of the best. And what I'm going to do to test this front camera is I'm going to do a live blog with it. And I'll show you how good it actually really is. So rolling up on 10 minutes, didn't want to talk that long, but guys, overall, this is a fantastic device. And so, don't ask me if I think it's worth the price. Again, I covered that in the Q&A video that I did. You have to decide whether you think something is worth the price, because it's your money and I can't tell you how to spend your money. I can only recommend devices. And I definitely, at this point, I can recommend this device. It's actually that good. So, it's your man Jay Will. I'll cover more in a full review. This is just a quick after the hype video for the HTC U Ultra.